What the hell is this? Now I know it's a Toyota Crown, it's 2023, the brand new model, a vehicle that's supposed to replace Toyota Avalon as a large sedan, but where does it sit in the segment? Because it certainly does have characteristics of a sedan, a crossover, a coupe, and looks like a fastback that's been blown up a little bit. So today I'm going to explore this info with you, hopefully. Thanks to Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County, Florida. We're going to check it out, exterior, interior, test drive, the whole 9 yards, to see if it has a purpose and if it has a place in today's automotive market. So if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt. Here on Matt the Carguy, post 2 car reviews every single week. If that's something that interests you, go ahead, check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing, means the world to me. And if you watch this video and like that, don't forget to leave me a like. When Toyota announced that it's bringing Crown to the United States, I was kind of excited about it before looking at the photos of it, because I thought it was going to be this stately luxury sedan, kind of Lexus-like, maybe something in between, as it was in Japan, an upmarket luxury vehicle. Now, after doing a little bit more research, I learned there was actually a little bit more than that, because there was Crown, of course, as a flagship sedan, but there was also a Crown Coupe, a Crown pickup truck, a Crown, just a regular guy sedan. There's tons of them as taxis, and there was also a Crown as a hearse. So they kind of mixed up the utility with the luxury, with the sportiness, and I think that Toyota mishmashed all of these into one, and now we have this. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, and I hope that you're going to help me and be the judge of it. But let's take a look at what we have here. So first of all, the front end. It does have this large hood with the Toyota logo. Now, what's interesting, a lot of Crowns back in Japan, they had their own Crown logo, like the majestic Crown, the royalty gem that was right on top of the hood. We don't have that here in the States. This is just a Toyota logo. Now, you do have these LED lights, and this particular trim is an XLE, which is the base trim level that's available on it. And we have the bi-LED lights. Now, on the higher end trims, on the Platinum, you get the quad LED lights. Now, a little bit of open space right here, and this kind of strange looking large grille that's all closed off. Yes, this is a hybrid vehicle, and we're going to talk about the engine in a little bit, but I would probably like to see a little bit more openings right inside of here. Now, it does have this front fascia right here that's all in this black, shiny black color, and then this is all closed off. Again, a decent design that probably could use some functionality in here. And by the way, the XLE trim and the limited trim are available in this monocolor, one color, right? But if you go to Platinum, you can opt in for the bitone, which gives you a shiny black hood, roof, and the trunk. Kind of looks very strange to me. Well, let's take a look at what powers up this thing. Toyota Crown is available with 2 different engine options on the XLE and limited trims. You'll get this 2.5-liter hybrid 4-cylinder engine producing about 236 horsepower, and it's mated to an electronically controlled CVT transmission. Now, on the Platinum trim, you'll get the 2.4 hybrid max system or engine that produces 340 horsepower. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, also on the Platinum level, you'll get the adaptive suspension versus the independent suspension on the lower trims. Now, if you are putting up a luxury SUV Toyota, let me tell you something, I have not seen one that does have a prop stick other than this one. So you might want to rethink that. Now, underneath the hood, you do have some sound insulation. We're going to take it for a spin at the end of this video to see how it drives. Well, here's the side profile, and I gotta tell you, this is probably my favorite angle. It doesn't look weird at all. Now, it does combine several characteristics of a different types of vehicle, like it sits up higher off the ground. The ground clearance is 5.8 inches, so that's kind of a crossover characteristics. Also, if you look in the back, it looks almost like a fastback. You almost think that this whole thing would open up, but it doesn't, but I'll show you that in just a little bit. But it is large. It's 196 inches long. It is definitely a large sedan, and it's definitely tall. Now, it is about 4 inches taller than Toyota Camry, and that's what it shares its platform with. Now, it should have a great visibility, because most people complain that the sedans don't give them that enough clearance when they're sitting, not enough height. So this might be actually a solution for it. Now, as far as the wheel and tire setup, on the XLE and the Limited, you'll get the standard 19-inch rims and tires. You can upgrade it on the Limited to 21-inch wheels and tires, and you get those standard on the Platinum trim. And I kind of like the setup in here. So it's a two-color, black and silver, and they're wrapped, and these rather large tires, 225/55 is the size of the tire. Now, if you look at the rest of this vehicle, you do have the chrome surroundings of the windows, with the exception of this trim piece right here. That kind of gives you that floating roof design. And, you know, of course, the pillars are all blacked out. The mirrors are the same color as the rest of the vehicle. With the turn signals and the blind spot assist in here, you don't have the 360 camera on the base trim level. Now, what's also interesting, and this is this trim piece right here, which is in this shiny black. You might not see it very well on this metallic gray color, but it is here. And then the bottom of it is all matte black. So, I mean, do you like it? You hate it? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about this car? One other thing, it does have the smart entry system, even on the base trim, but the base trim is not that cheap. We're going to talk about the pricing in just a little bit, and let's take a look at the back. All right, well, I can handle the front. The side actually is nice, but what about this? Now, this is probably my least favorite part of this vehicle, and of course, I'm being very subjective. Everybody has their own opinion. I outright don't like it. I don't like the lights, the way that this whole back end is situated, but it does have these bright lights that go across the entire vehicle, and you can see I have them on, so they're glowing. You do have this big Toyota logo right inside. Underneath here you have the rear view camera. Crown is spelled out right at the bottom here, and then you do have the reflector lights. Nothing too crazy in here. No exhaust tips are visible in here, and again, this looks like the whole thing would open up, but it doesn't. And let's see how much room we have. Well, you can open it several ways. You can open it from the interior, of course. You can open it from the key fob, which is what I'm going to do right now, and let's see how much room we have in this trunk. Before we take a look inside the trunk, let's check this out. So it does have this emergency unlock, and with the instructions. So basically you have to grab your hand and pull on it to open up the trunk, then you jump out of the trunk and run. That's in case you get locked up by bad guys inside. Now let's take a look at the cargo space in here. And actually this is pretty large. And I do like the opening size. It doesn't sit too high off the ground, so definitely a plus on that. Now, the seats can be folded down. You do have those two levers to unlock it, and unfortunately, that's all they do. They don't push the seats down, so you actually have to get inside and open it up yourself. But that's a way of extending your large cargo space in here. Now, let's check out and see if we do have a spare tire. And at least on the XLE trim, yes, we do. This is a temporary used tire, but it is here alongside with the floor jack and the tools to remove and reinstall the tire. If you're wondering if there's any room in the back seat, well, check this out. I'm 6 feet tall. This seat is adjusted to my regular driving position. I have several inches in front of my knees. Above my head, probably about 3 inches, so plenty of room. I am comfortable as far as the width of it. No question about it. Now, this is a base trim level, so let's check out this base interior. Let's start this tour with exploring the rear door panel. A lot of black plastic materials, but they do have like different types. So this is definitely that general dark plastic, and this is a little bit softer. And then of course you have the nice soft arm pad. And then you do have the window controls and a door handle, of course, and you can fit a nice large water bottle in here. Now, as far as the seats, now this is a base trim level, and I was kind of surprised to see this fabric on the seats. It actually looks very durable. It's definitely very different. And, you know, that's pretty much it. You do have the armrest that opens up, cup holders that close in case you didn't want to see them. And you do have this big hump in the middle. This is an all-wheel drive vehicle. I'm not sure if that's what this hump is for, or maybe the exhaust. And then you do have vents for the back seats, as well as the USB-C, which you don't see in a lot of the vehicles right now. Now you do have the seat back pockets on both driver and passenger seat. Let's move to the front. And as always, let's listen to the door close. That's actually nice, solid, no complaints here. Front door panel. Basically the same as the rear door panel. You do have the window mirror lock controls, door handle, two large openings for a bottle of water, maybe a cup as well. And you do have non-branded steering. Now I know on the higher trim levels you get the JBL, but on the base one, I think it's just a Toyota one. Crown right on the door sill over here, and then the same material, of course, on the seats. Now you do have a little bit of that syntax material on the sides with the fabric on the inside. Actually, no complaints for a base trim. I think it looks pretty good. You also have the power adjustment on both driver and passenger seats. And before we get inside of it, let's take a look at what we have on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. So you do have the automatic lights, and you do have the heated elements. That's where the windshield wipers meet the windshield, that kind of to defrost it so they don't get stuck. Now you also have the brightness control and the odometer trim, and then you do have some nice technology. Let's jump inside and I'll show you the rest. Well, contrary to my opinion, on the exterior, I actually do like the interior of this Toyota Crown. First of all, once you close the door, it feels very quiet inside. So that just tells me that it does have some nice noise insulation on this vehicle. What I also like is the new technology that they incorporated in it. So you can see one 12.3-inch screen, and then the second 12.3-inch screen. This is basically the multi-information display, and of course the infotainment that we've seen on other Toyota models. Overall, the look of it, it's eye-pleasing, and I do like it. I do have the glove box open in here just to show you that it is there. And, you know, it does have some hard materials over here, so I wish that that could be upgraded. This is soft touch, though. This, not so much. But it's all blacked out, maybe a little bit different trim pieces that kind of would break that up. Now, the only different trim pieces you have in this kind of brown color, you can see around the vents, and also this trim that goes underneath the infotainment system. Well, no head-up display is available on this base model. And let's take a look at the steering wheel. Nice to the touch. Again, the right thickness. I think that they figured it out in the steering wheel. They fit in many different vehicles, and it is actually very nice. Toyota logo, and you do have the multifunction display in front, but this basically what controls some of it. So you have the phone button, back button. This is the scroll and enter button. You have the volume, mute, and then the voice control. This is your adaptive cruise control and the lane keep assist, and then you have seek, track, and mode for your media. Now let's see what we can see in this multi-information cluster right over here. I hope you can see it, not too much glare in here. So right now on the left hand side you see that hybrid system, basically charge, eco, power. We're standing, so 0 miles per hour. Of course, you do have a compass displayed on it, and on the right hand side you do have the speedometer, as well as you can see where the power is coming from or to. Like right now it looks like it's charging the battery as well. 209 miles is the range on this vehicle. It says 0 kilometers per hour at the bottom, so I wonder if that also is going to show once driving. And you know, this is what you have. Let's see what other features we have available. So hold OK to change settings right now. Holding, and let's see, adaptive cruise control. There's nothing. Settings, messages, and this is pretty much it. So not much customization that you can get done in this multi-information screen. Well, let's move on to this 12.3-inch display. So first of all, this is like one of the first times that this vehicle has been started, so let's do the English. We're not actually going to connect it to my Toyota account. Do not show setup again. Well, I'm not going to do it. Maybe people want to set it up later. But this is your infotainment system. Now, we've seen that before. Now, as far as the navigation, you do have to subscribe. But if you are an Apple or Android user, which I don't even know if there's any other system, this system is compatible with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Now, you do have different media settings, and that's FM, AM, and Sirius XM. You can connect your phone, of course, and then let's take a look at the vehicle settings. Climate, comfort, trip information, energy flow, which is basically that hybrid system. Vehicle alert, here settings. You can set up your own profile in here, personal info, Bluetooth devices, general. Notifications, Wi-Fi, display, sound and media, voice search. I believe this is not confirmed, but on the Lexus, if you do set up your own account in one of their Lexus infotainment systems and you get into another one, you can actually sign in to your account and all the settings will transfer to a different vehicle. I think it's the same thing with a Toyota. Now, the display is nice. Let's take a look at this rear view camera, see what we have. You do have the active trajectory lines in here. And I think that the camera system looks a little bit better than on the Prius I just tested out. Maybe it's just the light, but you know, again, I kind of wish that it would take out the entire screen, not just one half of it in the middle. Trajectory lines, it's okay. I believe on the high-end trims like the Platinum, you get the 360, which you won't get with this one. Now, I'm going to leave it in reverse for a second here because I want you to hear something. We're going to move on and take a look what's underneath here. And underneath you have big vents, kind of like basically the same setup as on the Prius. You do have this shortcut buttons for your climate control. You do have the dual zone climate control, heated seats. Even on this base model comes standard. Front rear window defroster, you can turn that off, and then again you can just play around with the settings for your fan, different vents, etc. You do have the wireless charging right over here, 2 USB-C ports, cup holders, little storage compartment right here, and this is basically straight out of a hybrid or straight out of the Prius. You know, so if you've seen this design, when you want to switch it to a different gear, basically you move the gear shifter and move it up to put it in reverse, to the side to move it in neutral, and to the side and the bottom to put it in drive. And that's how, when you start driving. Now, different drive modes that are available. You have the sport, normal, and eco, and that shows up right on the multi-information screen. So sport, normal, and eco, and that basically just changes the background color of the screen once it goes away. Now you have the brake hold, EV mode. This is for slow speeds, only like going around your parking space or parking garage, and you can turn off your traction control off if you'd like to. Now you do have this padded armrest that can be opened up either from this side, or if the passenger wants to open it up, they can open it up from another side. So this is a pretty clever design. And once on the inside, you do have the 12-volt charger and the USB, regular USB type A port, and the sliding little shelf that you can put stuff on it. Here's a couple things that's interesting about the new Toyota. Now, the Toyota has this suite of safety features, which you can see some of them icons right here. I'm going to turn on the traction control to get rid of this message. But you can see that this Toyota is equipped with the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, full speed range, dynamic radar, cruise control, lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assist, automatic high beams, road sign assist, proactive driving assist, backup camera with dynamic guidelines, etc. You can see a lot of these icons for the safety systems right in here. So this is a pretty safe vehicle. Now, overall, On the interior, I'm much more impressed with this vehicle than on the exterior. Nothing too crazy. This is the base trim level. You can turn on the lights, turn them off, put them as on the doors, and basically turn on your illuminated mirrors, or open this up and it turns on the light. There's no sunroof. I know on the high-end trims you can get the glass roof that doesn't open, but it lets air, or it lets light inside of this vehicle. Now, enough talking about this vehicle sitting in it. Let's just take it for a spin. Here's a fun fact, guys, before we take it on the spin. Do you know that Crown is actually not the first Crown that's in the United States? And they've been selling those under, of course, different names for years and years and years. Because Toyota Camry comes from the Japanese word that means crown, and Corolla actually means a little crown. And there used to be a Toyota Corona, which also means crown. So Crown has been in the United States for all these years under different names, and most of the people didn't even know about it. Now, we do have Crown that's kind of a mishmash of basically everything that Crown ever represented, as far as the stately sedan and the pickup truck, maybe not, but then the coupe and a practical sedan. So we're going to take that for a spin in just a little bit, but it is a hybrid, so it's important that we talk about the gas mileage on this vehicle. So there's two different engine options. The XLE, of course, and the Limited get the less powerful but larger displacement 2.5 liter engine, and this is about 42 miles per gallon in the city, 41 on the expressway. But if you do opt in for the Platinum model, you're going to drop the gas mileage to about 29 miles per gallon in the city and 32 on the highway, but it comes at a cost of performance. So this is about 7.6 seconds 0 to 60 or something like this. It's respectable. It's a large sedan. It's not meant to be sporty. But then if you go to the Platinum model, we're looking at about 5.7 seconds. So I actually can't wait to get my hands on the Platinum to see how different it is in terms of all of the interior amenities and the technology. But that comes to the point that we have to talk about pricing of these Toyota Crowns. So this one is starting at $39,995. So it is not a cheap vehicle. Now, it does come standard with pretty much everything that you see on this vehicle. And the XLE with the destination about $41,045, then Limited $46,595, and then you get the Platinum. You're heading $53,445. So they're not cheap vehicles. Yes, they're meant to be these upmarket luxury sedans. Now, I'm not sure. I'm still not sold on this concept. Let's take it for a spin. One thing that I want to do, actually, I'm going to undo the seat belts in here, because Toyota is really good about making sure that you're going to put your seat belts on. And pretty soon, you're going to hear what I'm talking about. Now, we're actually going to take this vehicle and do some circles in this empty parking lot to see how tight the turning radius is. It's starting right now, but wait, we're not done. And I'm going to stop right here. There you go. So you either go crazy or put your seatbelt on. Thanks, Toyota, for doing that. And don't just buy the seatbelt buckle to stick it in here. I don't think that's going to work anyways. But make a full circle. Actually, for a large sedan, 196 inches long, this is pretty tight. In the suspension, I can already tell you that it's tuned more towards comfort than performance. It is on the softer side, which, you know, I guess this is what people are looking for when buying a large sedan like this. And then let's go turn it around, then do some acceleration, and then braking. Okay, not too bad at all. Now let's see how that fares on the road. Well, the thing that people were complaining about sedans, that they're set just too low to the ground, and you know, you can't see. There's a lot of SUVs on the road and they're blocking the view, and for the most part they're right. I mean, people are switching over and buying those taller vehicles, and if you're behind one, I mean, you're kind of SOL because you can't really see it. Now this might not be a perfect solution for it, but it lifts you up off the ground quite a bit higher, so you almost feel like you're sitting in an SUV. Definitely have a great visibility. You know, the mirrors are the right size, and if nobody's sitting in the back, this rear view mirror is alright too. So I mean, no complaints about visibility here, very few blind spots. And I was just going over a few speed bumps, and that actually absorbs them really well. I mean, here you go, here's one. Boom, like nothing. So this is definitely a comfortable ride. Well, I have to tell you that this sign recognition on this vehicle is pretty good. Now we're coming up on the stop sign, and it should show up that there's a stop sign in here. And once I said it, it didn't, but it did it the 2 times that I approached a stop sign in here. So maybe it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And also, looking right here in the front and this multifunctional display, I can see where the power is coming from, whether it's regenerating the battery or drawing the power from the battery. And that's basically what you have on most of the hybrids. We kind of do this half throttle over here, 40, 44, 45, not bad as far as merging in the traffic situations. Of course, I want to do the 0 to 60 maybe if traffic permits on that. But again, this is not a sports vehicle, but overall a comfortable drive. I also like the seats, even though these are not leather, these are very comfortable, and a lot of people I know prefer cloth seating to the leather or the synthetic leather that a lot of manufacturers are offering, even in some of the base trim levels. So this actually might be a hit. In the interior, you know, it's pretty eye-pleasing. I mean, everything is where it's supposed to be. I can see very clearly what's going on in front of me, not like on the Prius where, you know, it was blocked by the steering wheel. I have no idea how many of those vehicles Toyota will produce and what are they expecting as far as sales. Now, we've seen a lot of manufacturers completely getting rid of their large sedans. We just said goodbye to a Volkswagen Passat, Toyota Avalon, which technically this replaces it, so Toyota didn't really eliminate it, just replaced it with a different one. Nissan Maxima, it's at its last year of production, and a lot of manufacturers are kind of cutting the sedans completely out of the equation. So I don't know what Toyota expects as far as sales. This is definitely a unique vehicle, and you know, I'm sure it's going to be type of love it or hate it situation. I'll tell you, when I first saw a couple of the prototypes with this bi-tone exterior, I didn't like them one bit. Now it looks better with mono color in my opinion, but everybody is different. And again, I'm still not a fan of the exterior look, but on the inside it looks great and it drives great too. So if you are looking for one, the choices are limited as far as the large sedans. I might want to get inside, and hey, you know what? People say that you're going to be on the inside of the vehicle most of the time. It's probably right. All right, well, I'm going to stop right here, 0. Okay, let's go. Got it, 60. This is not the fastest vehicle out there. I just noticed one thing though, that we were in the eco mode. So let me fix that really quick, and I'm going to put it in the sport mode. I'm going to try that acceleration test one more time. Sport mode engaged, and let's go. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We made it. I think it was quicker. I mean, it didn't feel fast, but it was definitely quicker than in the eco mode. And you know, 7.6 seconds or whatever they tested it at. I mean, that's still respectable for the vehicle, its size, and in its class. So here's my thoughts on this vehicle. Final thoughts. Well, first of all, I want to hear yours. So if you are watching this video and you're completely disagreeing with what I'm saying, please put it in the comment section below, but make sure you justify it somehow. So first of all, it is very subjective, but I still don't like the exterior of this vehicle. I just don't like it, you know, and you can't convince me that I should like it because it's a very subjective and individual thing. The interior of it, however, it is pretty nice. And I have the regenerative braking on, so I let go of the brake and it slowed down quite a bit. Then the thing that I like about this vehicle is the interior, the technology, the drive. Price on it. $40,000 starting MSRP with the $41,000 at base level. This is pretty steep. That's why I said I'm not sure what Toyota's planning on and how many they think they're gonna sell, but it's definitely not the cheapest vehicle out there. Let me know your thoughts. I really want to hear it. Overall, I think it's a nice driving, ugly vehicle. That's my thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like it, and I hope you like watching automotive content. If you do, check out the rest of my channel, subscribe to it. It really means the world to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.